Hey, welcome to our channel. This is Liv. I'm Scotty, and together we're gonna build some stuff, right?
Yeah, because we don't know how.
Let's get to building. We're gonna build some stuff, right?
I decided to build something today. I've got a bunch of plans that a lot of stuff I have to finish up in here. Working in a small garage is always a pain. Space, making particular items that will actually just slide into your table. Easy, simple things. Today, I think I'm gonna work on the lathe and get it going. I got a backsplash I need to put on it. Keep a little bit of the chips, especially under the circumstances of working out of this garage. I gotta keep it clean, especially the walls, chips. I got a little 4-year-old. So I've got a plasma table to build, a shrinker stretcher, a tube bender. My tube bender needs to be set up so it can use the hydraulic system on it. I've pretty much got all my plans. It's just a matter of getting the time. I've got a 50-inch press brake that I'm going to be making as well. That's going to be multi-purpose, 3 cylinders. I've got, what else do I have here? I'll custom make those dies as well in the mill. I've got a few things left over on the mill to complete. I got a splash guard that I need to put on it, splash/chip guard. Just to keep it clean, because obviously my 4-year-old likes to come out here and walk around, and she likes to pick up chips and take them in the house. So we don't want that. We don't want her feet cut up. We don't want the dog's feet cut up. I need to finish up doing the motor control on it, changing it out, putting a VFD on it. I've got a DRO on it already. I need to put the 3rd axis on for the Z and mount the swivel. So we should be able to get that done here shortly. There's some other videos I've been watching for mag clamps. I bought some magnets, some really strong magnets, kind of scary magnets, so we got to build that project out eventually. I've got some welding and bracing on this table behind me. We've got a Harbor Freight brake that I'm going to be updating, upgrading, and giving away on the channel. And I just have miscellaneous ring roller, fixing my old air compressor, putting a new pump on, or rebuilding if I can find the parts. Tool holders for my rotating 17-inch platen that I'm going to put for a welding table. Probably an overkill, and I don't really want to pick it up. It's kind of heavy. But let's get rolling. So I drew up some plans for a splash guard. I'm going to be using some 18-gauge steel. Rather pricey right now. Prices have not gone down. So we're looking at putting a bend in this thing at 13.5 inches. That ½ inch is going to allow me to roll it and put a lip on the other end of it. It's going to sit up probably about an angle like that, about a 110 or 70 degree angle, somewhere in there. Probably 110. And then once I get that in there, I'll actually be able to clip it down here on the actual lathe. So let's get started on that project.
We're going to actually create. This particular lathe did not come with a splash guard, and being that I'm in a small garage, I've got to be able to control my chips, keep it off the walls, Make sure that any of the coolant that I'm using or lubricants, that they're actually making it down into the actual catch pan. So we're going to be fabricating a new piece to actually take up and control all of our chips, liquids, and make it fancy. Make it look like it came on this thing in 1943 when it was built. We'll get started. So I had to move everything in because a little storm decided to come through. Starting to come in. Blowing pretty good. My luck, it'll get all wet and rainy and dust everywhere. Small shop space when you have a roommate that has their stuff in your garage. Luckily it's all on wheels. So now we're gonna go ahead and start laying this out. I'm still throwing it up in the air, and I'm gonna do a bead roll on it. I think just by picking this thing up that it flops a lot. I mean, we're gonna get some tension on it, but I think I'm gonna put a couple bead rolls in it and go that route. Some greasy, fresh sheet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start setting my measurements, figure out where my square is at for what I need to actually start getting this going on, and then we'll go from there. Verify some of my corners to make sure they're square. You never know how they cut this stuff, you know. I've gotten some pretty messed up stuff where it's like, I should have checked that first. And I had to fix it. So always check your square first. See where that sheet that you bought was cut at. Having a nice big square actually helps out a lot versus a smaller one, because you can't tell those imperfections are cut. May have changed a little bit. Alright, we are square. I do use drywall squares, but you know, I have one. So what we're looking for is we are looking for 33 and a half inches is what we want for our overall piece. So we're gonna have to cut this a couple different times. We'll break the plasma out and do a cuts on it. Get that set up here in a little while. So what we're looking for 33 and a half by 30 and a half. So we'll need to set those measurements right now. And those aren't precise. This is just going on the back for a spill tray, chip pan, deflect core. So let's go ahead and figure out where our 33 and a half is going to sit at. One of the bigger things that, you know, keep in mind that when you're doing a project, always remember where your best cuts are going to put you. When you're putting your cuts out there, you're going to want these things to be able to utilize this space over here for something. So this is excess. This is my drop cut. I'm already thinking about what I'm going to do with this part. I've got another sheet over here as well, but I want to be able to utilize every bit of material in my small shop. I mean, I don't make $1 million, so I can't afford to just throw stuff around or make miscuts, cut it up, destroy it. So what I'm going to do is I'll save that piece. I'll get it. I'll get myself a nice little mark here where I need for this cut. I'll get that laid out later. But that'll be the start. So this is the start of our panel here. So we know our next one is at 30. Let's see if the table's long enough to handle it that direction. No. Using this as a kind of has its drawbacks. We really get most of our straight right there, which is all I'm concerned about anyway. So
So our next measurement is going to be at 30.5. So let's verify we've got enough here. So one of our bend is going to be at 17 inches. So we're going to go ahead and lay that out right now too. We're going to mark the start of our bend. That's not necessarily going to put us right in the center line, so obviously when we bend, we're going to have to account for where we want that upright to start. Right there looks good to me. Not really sure how much that bender, power freight bender is actually going to allow me to do with the lip. So I've accounted for 1/2 inch. So if we can get it there, we'll be all right, but I'm not positive. Let's give us a rough measurement. There we go. So we're going to have a cut here. Bend. If you're like me, mark it so you don't forget what you're doing. And if you mess up, all you got to do is just rattle the top of it over with this greasy material. Just wipe it off. Alright, so we got that. So now we have this excess here. I'm going to do a little bit of pre-planning on that because I want to have a shelf that comes up over the top right here that I can actually put my tooling on. Well, miscellaneous things, whatever. So I'm just going to get a rough measurement of how big I want it. Looks like about 14 inches should be fine. And I've got some material to work with here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut off. We'll use this side right here since we're already cutting it out. And we'll just make it 17.5. Let's look. Yeah, that should work good because what we'll do is we'll take this square and we'll see. I don't know if you guys can see this, but what we'll do is we'll take this square and we'll just roll up and bend up some edges on it so that way we can have a little capture tray on top. We'll do something for that. Give us. Okay, I'm all set up now. I decided I'm not going to use the nibbler. I'm going to go ahead and just do a plasma cut on this, and I'll just
plasma cut that while I'm at it too. Took a little bit longer to set up, but especially with having one plug in my laundry room, never fun. So I had to run an extension cord. I got a little small 10-footer, plug it into my miller, and then we're gonna go ahead and rock and roll. And I'll show you a quick little picture of my miller right now, and you can see what I'm using versus just a trigger. So I just have my miller right there. I'm gonna go ahead and use it. It'll give me a better cut. Got a Lottos over there, that actually cheap brand, but it cuts really well. We'll get going on this. I am a little safety conscious. I like wearing my safety gear. Because I'd rather see 125. Just kidding. 45, 46, 47, 50. I want to see when I'm older. I don't want to get burned up or anything. When you're using a plasma cutter, make sure you're looking out for where your sparks are flying. In here, I have a lot of stuff in the tight space. So it takes time to move the miscellaneous lines out of the way. Get your eyes on. Turn the pressure all the way up. Careful, it's hot. Always on top of that. Alright, first cut out. Oh, not too bad, I guess. It'll work. Do a little bit of cleanup on it. Reset up for the second cut we got here. Wear glasses, your gloves, I forgot. Usually good about that. First big video I'm making, so go figure, I'm a little nervous. Why would I be nervous? I mean, I'm not actually in front of anybody. careful because this metal end will be really hot. If you haven't ever used a plasma, you'll find out real quick. Alright, let's get our second cut out of the way. I'm just using this for weight. Just keep one side from falling down. Okay, as you remember from the first mark, I put cut right here for the side of it to get rid of this because I marked off from my bend right there. So that way I just mark it all in one step. And make sure you pay attention, otherwise you'll cut off your part you want. That might even be right on the money for the mark that you can't see in there when we get you in here. Just can't see right there. We'll find out. And all I'm doing here is I'm basically centering up my cutting tip. You can see exactly where the hole's at. I'm going to get in there. It's light, but just centering up right there. That's right on the money. Exact dimensions on this because it's just a custom piece anyway, to my desire. Let's go ahead and get this starting to cut. Up and out of the way. bends these 2 points here. So what we're gonna need to do is just hit this up, clean up our edges before we start getting into the bender. Got a little corner over here that I need to fix up. It's pushed up. Let's go ahead and we'll start grinding right now. Looks like we missed the first cut because I didn't push the right button. So let's do it again. Cut number 2. We're just using the air nibbler now because I don't know. Ugh. So we can test our fit. That's pretty strong. Not working. My kids' pliers were the closest. I guess I could have went over there and got a cutter. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. This is stupid. There we go, champion! And then we'll push that back down. Alright, this looks pretty good. Let's piece over. Probably barely see or not even see at all. But that's okay, because you'll see in a minute. Yeah, I think I can make it work. So, yeah. Okie dokie. Let's cut out another one of them. Let's see. Remember what I said about in the other video, make sure that you're paying attention to the material and where you can use. I know I'm going to need a strip to go across the top. That was 6 inches and this is 7.5. To my cut mistake jingleberry, I got my 7. So I'm going to use this piece over here. So this is the left side, or facing right. This is gonna get trimmed out. But you know what? I don't need to do that yet. I can do that later. After I figure out what I want it to look like once it's up there. So we're gonna go ahead and just cut this bad boy off. We'll be right back.
liking and subscribing. Bye.
Tell them about?
Yeah, because I'm going to grow up and then me and my dad are gonna be besties, and then we're going.
Hey, and welcome to our show. This is Liv. She's the Liv in Living Wild Fabrication. I'm Scotty Wild, and this is my little girl, and I like to teach her how to build things. What do you like to build, Liv?
I like to build things with flowers.